everyone, thank you for tuning in. I'm your instructor Joy. Let me first play a tune for you. This was a little excerpt from Paganini Caprice number 5. Thank you very much for your continued support. Thank you very much. Kind emails, kind questions, comments, volunteering with your time, supporting me here, and also my Patreon page, booking lessons with me. Thank you very much. So we're going to talk about how to approach chromatic, fast chromatic runs. This is a great example. This one, or also the Bumblebee, which is another very good example of chromatic runs, which runs here. That one's so about the similar idea, but I thought this was better example because it goes all over all 4 strings, ascending and descending. So chromatic scales are the one that made of half steps. Half steps are the one when fingers are close by. That's where half steps are. Often there are 2 ways of playing chromatic scales. Just placing finger right next to each other or sliding fingers. When we're new to chromatic scales, we learn to slide fingers, such as open A, now 1 1, B flat and B, now 2 2, C and C sharp, now 3 3, D and D sharp, and the reverse. And this one is a nice way to, a nice introduction when you're new to a chromatic scale or when your new student is new to that one. However, because we're sliding with the same finger, it gives this lingering sound. If you can separate bow, you can somehow get rid of the sound. But if you have to slow like here, then you are gonna hear the lingering sound that becomes a little unclear. Sometimes we want that sliding sound, but in this case we do not. And that is when this fingered chromatic scale or finger chromatic notes become very clear. The typical fingering would be 1 2 1 2 3 4 in the lower position. In the higher position it becomes a little different, such as combination of 1 2 1 2 3 4 or 1 2 3 1 2 3, especially in descending. So that will be a topic for another one, but let's stay in the first position. So in the first position, great fingering for a clear tone in chromatic runs would be 1 2 1 2 3 4, like this. So open A, instead of sliding 1 1, I'm going to do 1 2. So I'm officially actually in half position, because the first position would be here. I place my hand lower, which is between open string and the first finger, so I'm in between. So kind of half position. And shift my hand kind of 1.5 position, yeah. But depending how your hand, how large, how small it is, some people can just get away with just sliding finger as an extension. In my case, I have rather small hand. Well, as a girl I have a large hand, but still compared to many male violinists I have a smaller hand. So I like to slightly slide it, making a shifting. But if you have a large hand, you can place your hand in between, so keeping your hand in first position, you can just keep it in the first position. So that would be a great fingering. Same goes also when you play the flight of the Bumblebee. Here we're doing third position. So here, now 2 1. Yeah. So in this case, even though we're playing separate plates, it's just easier to move our hand faster. Yeah. So that's one way of doing it. So let's go back to our Paganini. So here we're doing the first note I slide it to, but the rest I do 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I go on until the end. Now come down, 2, 1, reverse, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 1. That's the only slide. Yeah, and that way we have a little fast one. Then finish with a chord. Yeah. So I hope you can try it yourself. Whichever passage you play, when it comes to fast passage, one has to be very patient, practicing slowly, coming up with a different combination of left and right hand, and then gradually increasing the amount of practicing. Yeah. I wish you all happy practicing. I hope this video was helpful. Hope to see you again. Bye bye.